Okay, are we good to go?
Okay. Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nile TESOL Talk entitled Teachers' Wellbeing in the Wake of COVID-19. Thank you for joining us today. Today, we have two distinguished speakers, Mrs. Nesreen El Nesr and Dr. Ghada Al Akhtar. Ms. Nesreen is an EFL supervisor and course designer and teacher trainer with the Ministry of Education. She holds a Bachelor of Arts and Education from the Faculty of Education in Alexandria University, and she has the distinguished Cambridge CELTA TEFL certificate from TEFL International and MCE from Microsoft. In addition, she has many other educational credentials from 3 American universities and the British Council in Egypt. She's also accredited as a speaking examiner by Cambridge ESOL, and she delivered professional presentations at different national and international conferences like TESOL International, TA TEFL, TESOL Arabia, and Nile TESOL. So please join me in welcoming Mrs. Nasreen. And she's going to be the first speaker with a session entitled Teachers' Wellbeing, the Pillar of 2020 Emergency Teaching. So, Ms. Nasreen, you can start.
Okay, will you just give me the privilege to share my screen?
Yeah, please. You are the co-host, so you can
Okay.
stop the current sharing, or I can stop it. And you can choose to share what you want.
Okay, shall I start right now?
Please, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay. So it's a pleasure being with you at the Research Tech professional development event. It's actually the second professional development. This is Teachers' Wellbeing, the pillar to 2020 emergency teaching. And thank you, Dr. Karim, for the nice introduction. And thank you, Dr. Ghada, for nominating me to be here. Today is the 11th of December, and I'd like just to welcome you all and kindly have all your mobiles on silent mode so as not to have any kind of disturbance while we are working, and kindly use the facility of the chat of Zoom in order to be in contact with each other, and this would be a great pleasure. Thank you very much. Our overview for today is that we're going to talk about our current situation, teacher competencies, tips for teachers' well-being. Also, we are going to talk about drawback as our first aid for teachers' well-being, balancing between well-beings and competencies. Also, we are going to be talking about emotions, literacy ruler, and the teacher's responsibility. The year 2020 emerged with the starting of COVID-19, and having online teaching has become a must, where our classes are empty and our boards turned to be the screens of our either our mobiles or our laptops. And teachers are facing a dilemma of being sinking down in the online teaching, but actually speaking, this led to many, many different good points, actually. This is what I think of. Our classes were filled with students, and these students turned to be online, and all the talks about, all the presentations talked about their well-beings, in addition to the well-beings of parents who were panicking about their kids' education. Also, no one talked about teachers' well-being. Teachers are teachers' well-being who are considered the backbone of the teaching learning process were seen at the backstage of the learning teaching process itself. But to develop this, we are here to talk about teachers' well-being, to avoid being at the backstage and to strengthen our backbone by ourselves. We are going to do so. Well-being is a word to be said not only for teachers, male or female, for English teachers, or no, it's for all subjects teachers. Well-being here is not for young teachers or newly appointed teachers, but we're talking about all ages, all subjects, both genders, and all. Here, the teaching learning situation, we are saying here, keep calm and don't reinvent the wheel. Just perfect it. We need to perfect our wheel. We are acquainted with the teaching learning process and we are acquainted with whatever we are doing, but we need to perfect what we are doing. We need to know more tools and to give ourselves the strengths, the right strengths to be dealing with it. Teachers matter. Students' well-being begins with, kindly write that in the chat box. What do you think? Students' well-being starts with or begins with. What do we say? Kindly write that in the chat box. What do you think? Yes. Students' well-being begins with? What do you think? I'm waiting for your answers. Okay. Thank you, man. Social distancing or having a supportive teacher, maybe. Okay, any more? It's actually, I have just said it. Who can tell me what I have just said, what I'm talking about? It's there on the screen. You can just copy from the screen the words in a very simple and easy word. Teachers' rapport, okay. Students' well-being begins with, okay, it's teachers' well-being. We need to have teachers' well-being in order to be able, yes, thank you very much, Rania. Teachers' well-being is the starting point for students' well-being. We need to balance between work, life, and extra in order to be able to deal with whatever we are having in our life and to cope with the job stresses and disturbances. We need to talk about first about the competencies. What do we have to do for our job to be that perfect? We need to have certain competencies. These competencies are knowledge, content knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, technological knowledge. And to talk about this, we'll postpone that till the very end, but we need to talk about all these three, and related to how teachers are perceiving it. We are talking about the comfort zone, and teachers are having their comfort zone. Actually, what I'm talking about is a comfort zone that the teachers used to have their classes, actually their classes, and their students, and not only classes and students, but they did have their boards, and they are having familiarity with this environment, and this is considered to them a comfort zone. They are familiar, they are secure, they are certain and sure of what they are doing. And if we are to ask them or any one of them to go up to a stage, to reach up high and high and high, we notice that they reach the stage of a fear zone, and that's why they return back. But if they got that courage and strength to move up, they will learn and they will have another learning zone. And this learning zone might be substituted by the comfort zone to be another comfort zone, but will not reach the growth zone, which we are going to talk about right now, this growth zone, unless we pass all these ways, the comfort zone, the fear zone, the learning zone, and then to reach the growth zone. This growth zone will enable all teachers to grow more and more, and they will be able to face any kind of challenges and be more and more strong. This is it, the competencies and dealing with the comfort zone to avoid the fear zone and move to from the learning zone to the growth zone. And the growth zone is going here to be another comfort zone, and so on and so forth until we reach our capability or are able to deal with all our competencies in a very good and effective way. And by that, we are able to face any kind of challenge. Accordingly, this is what we are going to talk about. This is the tips for teachers' well-being. We need to prioritize our self-care and follow a schedule. Make at least one day over the weekend as sacred, and give yourself space to breathe. And create communities of sustainability. And let us discuss one by one. To prioritize self-care, what I'm talking about here is that high levels of stress over prolonged periods of time, chronic stress have been shown to inhibit our ability to regulate emotion, to cope with the stressful situations, and to feel empathy for others. Look at this picture. This reminds us of our travels abroad. This is what we are shown before the plane takes off. They always tell us to give due care to yourself and then help others, either a kid or another old person or anyone who is not able to deal with the mask, with the face mask, the oxygen mask. And accordingly, you can't serve others or of your students or any of your students if you have nothing left to give. The idea of following a schedule. We have to unplug ourselves for a while. Unplugging ourselves and have rest. And this, I am the only one in need of having rest right now, actually speaking. We are in need of having rest. And if we are having any kind of email in the time of our rest, we might postpone it for tomorrow. Tomorrow is always loading and there is time, unless it is something very urgent that we are in need of finalizing it, but it's going to be something good. We have to nourish our brains in order to flourish. Following a schedule will allow us to nourish, to flourish. Make at least one day over the weekend sacred. Have a happy weekend. Not only this, not only on Friday, might be Saturday or Sunday, any of them or both, or just two of them or something like that. This would be great. Give yourself a space to breathe. We need to talk about a 4 inhale and a 6 exhale. Can you kindly just look at me and do like what I'm doing right now? Put your hands like this, please. I'm not seeing you, but kindly put your hands like this. Okay. Just inhale 4 times and inhale and count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then put your hands like this. You'll have rest. Again. Give yourself time to space to breathe. And this elongated exhale sends a signal to your nervous system that you are in a space where you can begin to relax. This is the idea of relaxation. And here we are creating community of sustainability. We are in need after relaxation to create communities of sustainability. And this, ironically, teachers are considered in a dome, in a glass dome, and they are creating self-isolation to themselves. How can this happen? Because they are only limiting whoever they know to those who are of their same field, teachers, supervisors, students, and so on. Accordingly, all the speech and everything we are talking about is limited to the teaching jargon. And accordingly, we are in need of having another community of other jobs. And by that, we are going to be talking about other topics. And by that, we'll feel groomed. These are the 5 tips that we talked about. We need to prioritize our self-care, follow a schedule, unplug yourself. This is very important. Make at least one day over the weekend sacred and give yourself space to breathe and create communities of sustainability. And this will help you to be that strong more or give you more strength. For the Dr. ABC, or we can say the DRAPAC, I consider it a first aid. How can you be the first responder to your well-being? And this is the first aid that we're going to be talking about. The D is for divergent thinking. What do you think of divergent thinking? Can you write that in the chat box? Look at the picture and tell me the difference between divergent and convergent thinking. I'm waiting for your answers. Look at the arrows and you'll know the answer. Okay. He is not determined. Okay. Thank you, Rania. Confused, not focused. Okay. What about the one with so many arrows? You consider this divergent thinking confused? Do you consider that confusion? Shows hesitation. Thinks differently. Okay, let us read the convergent thinking is the one that who thinks directly for a final solution, omitting other possibilities. Just thinking of one solution and no more. And for the one who is divergent, who thinks of all the possible ways to reach a final solution. We are thinking of more than one possibility, going up, down, back, forward, and so on. And the convergent is the one who thinks of only one solution, no more. There is no roadmap to teach during the global pandemic. Instead of looking for linear steps or specific answers, try thinking like a mind map by looking for opportunities and possibilities. There is no right way. Just be open and curious about new ideas and new ways of doing things. Don't insist on the way that you were used to be teaching while you were before the time of COVID-19. Learn, share, and listen. Second point is the R, which is rest. Rest your mind and body, and this is the care and how to care about yourself. This is what we are already facing right now, especially in the times of the exam. Teachers suffer from cognitive fatigue because they have to make nearly 1,500 decisions a day. Mainly maybe less, maybe more, but taking a few minutes every day to rest your mind is essential, and especially during the weekend. This could be the form of creative play or a physical exercise, or just a chat with one of your colleagues and one of your friends who are dear to you, whom you can air your trouble with. Second point is awareness. With awareness, we are talking about awareness of self. As educators, we have great awareness of others, but we're not caring about ourselves, actually. We go above and beyond to diversify learning for students and cater to their complex needs. But we must consider our needs too. This is the case. We need to consider our needs. We need not to set ourselves aside and care for others. We have to care for both, okay? And this is what we are here for. You can pour from an empty cup. What do we need to do right now? We need to believe. Believe that you are enough. Believe with so much change happening at a rapid pace, it is not possible to keep up all the time. You cannot rewrite an entire year or term's curriculum in one day. Slowly, slowly, everything is going to happen, but not very, very slowly. It is going to happen. We often put so much pressure on ourselves to get everything done, but it is not realistic. There comes a time where we must trust ourselves and believe that we have got, that you got done on this day, whatever you have got done on this day is enough. After all, we are human beings, not human doings. And this is my favorite, actually. Celebrate. We need to celebrate daily. Celebrate our achievements, whatever, however small they are, but we need to celebrate. When we get caught up in the busyness of rushing from one task to the next, we lose our connection to others and to ourselves and to others as well. We have at that time to stop. Stopping long enough to track the good stuff, hear the thank yous and celebrate small wins can go a long way towards filling up our cup with a sense of meaning and purpose. And this is the case, a present. Give yourself a present. We always buy ourselves something. Anything that we are in need of, consider it as a present and buy it to yourself for achieving something that you liked. This is the Dr. ABC, divergent thinking, rest, awareness, believe, and celebrate. Don't forget to take care of yourself. This is the case. In order to be able to be a good researcher, for the sake of the research, said Dr. Ghada, in order to be a good researcher, we need to care about ourselves. There is nothing called I can do it. There is I can do it. We have to omit the apostrophe T. In the time being, we are having blended learning that over-emerged our life. And with this blender, we are blending in our teaching, teachers' experiences, students' curiosity, face-to-face environment, online tools, in addition to patience and open-mindedness. And this is all what we are caring for. We need to blend all these together, mix them, mix teachers' experience with curiosity of students, with whatever we have learned and we are experiencing with the face-to-face environment, in addition to the new online tools, which are always updated, and we have to be updating ourselves with whatever is in the toolbox or in the market, that we have to have it in our toolbox, and be patient, open-minded as well. As we said before, don't reinvent the wheel, but perfect it. These are the teacher competencies, and we are going to be talking about content knowledge. We are strong. We are not going to start from scratch. We are strong with our content. We are the super teacher because we are linking the books to the students. And we are here linking the teaching learning process with our experience and whatever we are ready to do. Not only this, with whatever we are to learn from today's session about well-being and how to care about ourselves. And we are going to connect the teaching with the learning and care about our students and ourselves. Content knowledge, and here is the pedagogical knowledge. We are caring about all types and everything related to pedagogy, preparation, teaching strategies, learning strategies, content knowledge, problem solving, classroom management, and you are all experts in this. We are not going to talk about this because this is not our topic, but there are certain books that might guide towards helping you dealing with that and perfecting yourself more in whatever you are finding yourself lacking. Teaching before starting the technological competency is supporting, empowering, engaging, caring, sharing, reflecting, nurturing, assessing. These are all related to teaching, which guide us towards the technological knowledge. And when we are weaponed with all whatever I mentioned in this slide, we are ready to deal with the technology, because technology is just a tool, nothing more. Now, the flipped classroom emerged in the year 2002 and guided towards having our classes creating miracles. To deal with the flipped classroom, we need to sometimes present some videos. And with these videos, we are having problems because sometimes we don't like to have our students view everything there. And other time, we are not in need of having the intro or a part in the middle and something like that. Edpuzzle emerged to solve all our problems. Here's Samurai presenting something like that about it. And
welcome to my YouTube channel.
I'm not going to present the video, but just I'm going to give you an overview, and you might be watching that video at your own pace. With Edpuzzle, you just log in and just create an account. It guides you towards your Google Classroom, and you just ask if you'd like to create a video or upload a video or whatever student's project. If you are to upload a video, so it's a video of your own. If you're going to create a video, you'd like to search, there is a facility to search on YouTube or something like that. If you have the video right now, and this is the video at the back of the gentleman here, it's called this. This free tool, it's free, Ashan. You might be asking yourselves right now, this free tool guides towards having you, in a very simple and easy way, cut your video as you like. And not only cut, it guides towards having you have voiceover. And this voiceover means that you might omit the speaker's voice and have your voice instead. And this might help with your learners if you have weak learners or some learners who are not very much acquainted with other speakers and the voice is not that very clear. You might replace that and say whatever you'd like to. Also, it guides towards having you make questions. This is how you cut the video as you wish. There are many different ways, and the videos, all the tutorials teach you how to do so. And here, different questions. You might add the stem here, and here you have the distractors. You might add as many distractors as you'd like. It's advisable to have your question and the right answer. Either write the right answer here or there or anywhere you'd like to, but write the right answer first and then write your wrong answers in order not to forget how to do so. What I like more about Edpuzzle is that it allows the students to view your video as you like, but they are not going to move a minute or a second forward unless they answer your question. So this is something very good. There is a facility of multiple choice questions and another facility for open-ended and more that the students, you might add notes or comments or whatever, and this would be something great. Here you start your voiceover and start recording and listen to whatever you mention. Start small. You start for 30 seconds or 1 minute to try yourself speaking and try yourself that if you are moving with the screen and something like that, and this would guide you towards having effective presentation. And this application and this program guides towards helping students to feel groomed. I tried it and it was very effective. It's totally free and it's very, very nice. And this is stressful time. We need to make it stress-free. And to make it stress-free, we need to care about our well-being. And caring about well-being is to deal with these tips like what we mentioned, the competencies, and Dr. ABC, and this leads me to my final slide, which is emotions literacy. We are going to talk about ruler. With our ruler, we need to recognize recognizing self and other. I can see from the, can you just admit or either not admit the one who is to be in, please? Because I can't see my screen. Understanding the causes of emotions. Here, recognizing emotions of self and others, understanding the causes of emotions, labeling them accurately, expressing them appropriately, and most importantly, regulating our emotions effectively. If you are able to recognize your emotion, understand the causes of them, label them, either for you and for others, expressing emotions appropriately, and regulating them. Regulating is very important in the stress time. You're dealing with a very effective ruler. And my final word is the teacher's responsibility. Who can tell me, just write in the chat box, please. The teacher's responsibility is, and again, it is from the same words on the screen. Kindly, I'm all with you on the chat box. Thank you. Thank you, Rania. The teacher's responsibility to care of himself, okay? Any more, Radwa? Any more? Huh? Okay, to be able to respond to different situations, care for himself as well as others, okay. Self-development in all level, feel relaxed, encourage creativity. Thank you all. Any more? Any more? Waiting. Look at the screen and you will know the answer. The answer is there. To support himself first, okay? Anything more? Okay, the teacher's responsibility is the teacher's responsibility. How do you respond as a teacher to different situations is your responsibility. You have to respond effectively and you have to regulate your emotions like what we mentioned right now. And you have to respond to parents in a way that is suitable to their fear and care about their kid, to your school administrator or school principal in a way that he is managing the whole issue, to your kids at home, your own kids in a way that help them to feel that you are their mom and dad or dad, and responsibility to yourself. Care about yourself. It's time for change. And this is our overview for whatever we have done today. We talked about our current situations, teachers' competencies, tips for teachers' well-being, Dr. ABC as a first aid for teachers' well-being, balancing between well-being and competencies, emotions literacy ruler, in addition to the teacher's responsibility, which is the responsibility of all these. These are my references. Thank you very much for that. And if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.
Could you please go back to the slide of the references?
Okay, Radwa, here you are. Okay. Any questions before moving? Thank you, Iman.
Yes, Miss Nesreen, thank you very much
Yes,
for this
Radwa.
informative session.
Thank you very much, Habibti.
Yes, please, I want to just a certain well-known, recognized definition for the word well-being, because I get confused about its meaning or its connotation.
Caring
teachers.
about yourself, simple and easy.
Caring about yourself.
Yeah.
So yes, how that the teacher has to care about himself.
Yes. Simplified. I don't like theories, by the way. I just go ahead and try to simplify as much as I could. Simplify it.
Yes, so is well-being means that how take caring of yourself.
Yes.
How to,
Yeah. Any more questions?
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Nesreen, for the enlightening presentation, and we'll have to move on to
Thank you very much, Dr. Kareem. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was very nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear.
Now we will.
Shall I stop sharing?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
And next, we will have Dr. Ghada Al-Akhdar's presentation. Dr. Ghada is an associate professor in cultural studies at MSA University in Egypt. She has 15 years teaching experience in teacher training and publishing about social media and the commemoration of cultures and feminism. She's a Nile TESOL Research SIG coordinator. And the Research SIG helps to support teachers and researchers at schools and university levels. Her presentation is entitled Teacher Wellness, 5 Routines for Teachers to Play the Long Game. The presentation focuses on 5 routines that describe a happy and productive mindset for teachers with challenges that teachers are facing today. 5 practices can shift the teacher's level of energy and job satisfaction. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Ghada. Dr. Ghada?
Welcome, Dr. Ghada.
Dr. Ghada? I think we're dealing with a bit of a technical issues. So we're just waiting for Dr. Ghada to join us.
So, yes, everything is connected now. So, yeah. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, and hello, everyone. It's a pleasure being with you tonight. And here's my presentation. Okay. I'm going to start right away. Okay. So the presentation itself, Teacher Wellness. We have 5 routines for teachers to play the long game. Okay. The state of the art, it starts on describing the teaching business, the objectives and the actual things, how they take place. And then I'm going to describe the stress teacher, which is like the common place where many teachers place themselves now. I'm going to walk you through the routines, the 5 routines, and then the happy ending hopefully comes. So the objectives of the teaching job is, teachers are interested with students to motivate and educate. They bring in value, they set examples for the students, and then they finish the allocated work on time. They coordinate with other teachers, and then they follow the rhythm set by the supervisor. They target the exam, and they grapple up with unexpected challenges all the way. So this is actually what the teaching job involves. And this describes the reality. All too often, teachers has the feeling that they are like the hamster in the wheel. So we're doing the same things over and over and over, and we're trying to catch up with the deadlines over and over. Did you see? So this is the state of mind that some teachers would develop. So the stressed teachers, they have to work being about the mindset they have when they are all on stage. So they spend a lot of time, just like with show time, like the show business. They're before the students' eyes all the time. They stop some teachers, in order to survive this kind of feeling, they stop the sense of connection they have with their students. So they just like present whatever they have in mind without the feeling of being watched. Or sometimes they would crack under too much the being watched out of self to put up for the show. So they start developing alienation and sense of loneliness. So what I'm referring to here is a common feeling among teachers who spend a lot of time doing teaching, whether online or in class with their students, and they feel that they don't have space, personal spaces for themselves to think and consider what they're doing. They repeat themselves over and over, of course, as part of the job, not when they want to, but where the exams go. So because they think this is something important, they start repeating themselves. And this actually adds to alienation because they feel they have to do this and not sensing, or they're not really mindful of what they're doing. So the common experience of the hard task of following up with a do-do list, this is a common experience that people usually struggle with, but this becomes the teacher life. It's baseline for their job. They have to meet the deadlines, they make class plans a priority, they coordinate with other teachers regardless of how trained or welcoming they are, they adapt to last minute changes, they jump online when the teaching stops going in person, they would just like jump online anytime, and then they target exams. They answer for the endless, they answer for endless needs for the students and management where they work. Could you see? And this is why they find themselves less and less as a priority. They just like try to handle all the challenges around. So the presentation here summarizes many studies that would put together practices many teachers around the world are taking up. And more results show that finally these steps would minimize the level of stress and fatigue related to the job. The pre-teach mindset. First thing is the teacher would ask themselves why. So it's you have a number of whys, and that's an exercise. People sit together and they do it, either in a group or through chat, or they do it on paper. Ask yourself what brings you to the class every day? Why have you chose this as your job? What are the good things that you appreciate in the job itself? So try to follow a line of whys until the big intentions, the big why finally shows and shines. So you know that there is a sense of purpose behind your everyday practice. And then once you start taking up any of the tasks you're assigned, get a bird's eye view of the task because it helps you prioritize. So what's the important things here? And what are the things that I can declutter? I'm not asking you here to cut the corners and produce things in less quality, but what is important is to figure out what your priority is. So you're not you don't get caught in procrastination, for example. You're not wasting a lot of time on social media before you turn up an exam or a quiz. Before you sit down to grade some papers, you don't have to like try to procrastinate doing other things like cleaning up and writing a text and making a phone call and connecting to a friend, and then sit down and do the task while you're trying to take your mind out of it. This is exactly what we're trying to do. Try to be mindful as much as possible. Try to know why you're doing this task. And then setting your mood. It's important not to go grading when you are not in the right state of mind. Let me just check my connection. Is it working and everybody's following, or something is wrong?
We can hear you properly.
Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you. So setting your mood is the third point, which means that if you're starting on one of the tasks, this means that you're going to disconnect from other related things, related or unrelated, or things that you were doing before you sit to the task. You set up your mood on two important moments in the teaching or the teacher's life. The first thing is, before you step into the class, make sure that you sever your relationship to the world. It's not about everything that keeps lingering in your head. Try as much as possible to distance yourself from everything and just step into the class and start constructing a new world for your student. Try to engage with them with full quality presence. And the second thing, when you sit down to grade the work, it's not because you're taking the work to grade, for example, in the crowded office or at home. It's like you need to make sure that you are doing the correction because this is the mirroring the performance of your students. So try to take on the teacher's hat, try to take on the grader's hat, wherever you are, sit down before the papers and read thoroughly, because this contributes actually to your sense of well-being. Sometimes teachers would think that when the students are not doing a good job and when they're disappointed and frustrated during the grading thing, they think it's like it says that you are not good teachers, and this is why they get disappointed. Um, this is why there is a hat for grading. You need to get the mindset. What is the grading about? It's about classifying the range of class performance. It's about identifying what is my next right step. So next time I step into the classroom, I'm going to do this and that. It's about planning. It's about hope again. So you don't need to allow it to frustrate you very much. The other thing is focusing on the task, which is mindfulness during the actual performance and presence in interaction with the students and colleagues during the class time or while grading the papers. After that, the second step is the post-challenges affirmations. People-based jobs, teaching being one of them, are full of emotions. So emotions, you have a lot of emotions when you want to get the job done. We call that slightly pressure. And we have a lot of emotions because of not being heard by the people we work with. That would be miscommunication, whether on the level of colleagues or management. We have emotions because hard work is not seen or well appreciated. And that can relate to frustration. So to name a few, these are some of the feelings that we actually have at the background of our mind. Every time we are working, we have negativity bias as teachers because of a lot of emotions we're handling. So balancing them out would work. So we balance them with a pre-teach or pre-work, pre-start the mindset. And the second thing is post-challenge affirmations. To keep emotional levels up for teachers, awareness of the emotional drop is crucial. Balancing emotions out is important to preserve energy and strength. So we chat positively with a friend and not just like talk about the problems all the time. Make sure that you start or end and start and end on a positive note. It comes with practice and training. So whenever you're talking about your job, whenever you're communicating something, try to find something positive about it. Use positive language. So seek advice instead of opinionating conflicts. If you're referring to conflicts, of course, which is it's a big part of our job, actually. Okay. So keep a chocolate to celebrate a wonderful class for yourself, treat yourself, or support a colleague. So part and parcel of our work is to have a lot of interaction with people. Sometimes you would need advice or you would actually opinionate what's happening. So try to communicate your emotions positively. Try to watch the kind of language that you're using and pick something nice and celebrate, whether for yourself and for others, very much like Ms. Nesreen's advice. So the pre-teach mindset and post-challenges affirmations. Affirmations means if you have a line that is going on a negative, try to change the direction into a positive note. These are emotional checks within our daily teaching practice and to recover from tough situations at work quickly with time. Of course, we know that our life is connected. So if you have something on the personal note or something in your work, they are going to affect each other. So it's beautiful if you can just like compartmentalize your life. Like every time I'm doing the task, I'm going to focus on this task. Before the task, I'm going to do something. After the task finishes, I'm going to end on a positive note. The third routine here is selective mediation. Taking information from one platform to another is a lot of work. We do that while we're preparing our study, our work for the students, or when we're trying to showcase our work at a meeting, for example, or if we even are trying to communicate something. So choice is important here. Take the most relevant and create focus around it. This puts less stress over the teacher and the listener. Teachers receive training in order to develop the skill. Okay. Teachers receive training in order to develop the skill of choosing what to teach and how to most effectively teach it, how to choose what to focus on, and how to communicate that makes all the difference. So choice is a big part of our job. It's a skill and it only gets better with time. So we need to know and we need to learn, identify what are the things that we're going to focus on and how we are going to take it from this context and reproduce it in a different context. Could you see? So you take the conflict and maybe seek advice in a way that is productive and it doesn't take everything doesn't spread negativity. And the same, if we're doing as facilitators, as teachers, if we're doing class preparations, you do the preparation for the job in order to make it an enhanced and an easy experience for your students as much as you can. Okay. Given the intense hours across the day with teachers talking in and out of class, it's important to choose the things that you focus on, the language that you use, and the circle of colleagues you construct, the people you learn from, and the places you feel welcome. Goal contagion is real. So if people have something in their subconscious, if they have things that are burdening them all the time, usually this is contagious. So you get this kind of energy. You get inspired if you're around people who are inspired. Did you see? So goal contagion means that if they want to do something, most probably you want to do the same thing with time. Okay? So you get influenced by people around you, and going selective helps a lot to take the right directions. The typical teacher has students and colleagues mostly around their WhatsApp and social media platforms. And this is why going selective helps here too. It's intelligent to find inspiration in different scopes. So they will speak ideas and answers in time to you. So watch the kind of platforms and the people that you're keeping around all the time. This is a suggested inspirational board. So these are suggested names for you to follow on their social media. The first thing is Science of Wellbeing. This is a course that's offered by Coursera. It's totally free, and it's constructed by Yale University professor Laurie Santos. I'll show you the picture now. Impact Theory also is a number of videos that are hosted by Tom Bailey. That's the video series. The names are Laurie Santos, Robin Sharma, Gary Vee, Tom Bailey, and Lisa Nichols. Lisa Nichols is a motivational speaker, and she gives steps for handling a number of challenges, especially when it comes to emotional challenges. Tom Bailey gives the wonderful Impact Theory program. He has that on YouTube. And he requires that everybody he hosts in his show has written a book. So when you're a bestseller, written a book, you come to Tom Bailey and then you start giving ideas. There's a lot of ideas, of successful ideas that he hosts in his show. Very inspiring indeed. And Robin Sharma is an Indian Canadian, or is a Canadian lawyer formerly, but now he's one of the best well-known motivational speakers. He's very well known for his book, The 5 a.m. Club, totally inspirational, and he has a lot of hands-on practical steps for people in order to reach their dreams and success. This is the picture of Laurie Santos, the professor of happiness. She has a degree in sociology. And actually, she has developed her study into the sciences of happiness. She has offered the very well-known course on the science of well-being, and now it's like one of the trending podcasts around the world. She has, of course, a Facebook group called the Happiness Lab, so join that too. And this is Gary Vee on marketing and everything that makes the business life practical. He has a lot of talks as well, very profuse on social media. Okay. And then the fourth skill, which is the ones that I was referring to here, this is the skill of selective mediation. So if you're going to learn about the world, try to learn about the world from people who have made it in the world. They usually give you heartwarming advice, and they sometimes say things that would help you trigger ideas. And of course, it makes you inspired for long. The fourth skill here is skill building. And actually the way it's put is like skill build or burnout, because all too often teachers who report being burnout, these are the teachers who do not learn something new. They don't see value. They don't see something growing. So if you grow your potential, it is going to give you confidence and it's going to make you matter at work. So you'll have a say, you will celebrate good chances, and then you will keep qualified. Make sure that you get one step ahead at your level of skill every academic year. So this is the practice that goes for all the teachers. So instead of just saying, I need to develop, I should be learning something new, you cannot do that on the level of every day. But the study would show, I'm referring to actual studies that were conducted in schools, they would show that teachers who learn something new every single academic year, they usually are happier, they have more job satisfaction. So if you identify the growing edges in your business, you go creative and you learn new skills. It adds to the tools at work, self-confidence, sense of meaning and motivation. Years later, it's not just the market that rewards your growing skill and qualifications, but also ensures that you don't grow bored and emotionally drained over time. Gratitude is the last practice in the gearbox for teachers. So studies that are covering the pandemic report that more people are reevaluating their lives. Maybe I don't need all that. And what is all this for? So people have started asking these questions, and the result is people are growing happier with what they have. They have more meals are taken at home, less transportation, and less going out. So people feel less stressed all over the world. Gratitude starts with finding a reason to be happy with what you've got and develops with consistent practice of naming what you're grateful for. So this is where you need to use language, name it, say it out loud. I'm grateful for this and that. You find them and you name them and maybe write them down as well. So if you get the copybook, these are the 5 practices that you're going to do every day. Your daily homework is to pull together a list of why you are grateful. You think hard, find the 10 reasons and integrate this as daily practice. Savor the good moments. Take pictures of every day, simple things. Share a candy or say thank you and write down one shot every day. So it's just like every day, just like write down one line that describes one thing that was really enjoyable. Keep inspired. Follow teachers, videos, and speakers who will help you learn one good thing every day. And then believe. The benefits of defining the limits of your knowledge and power makes you open for God's blessings and rewards. Write prayers that unlock your purpose and passion. It helps you feel and exercise emotions of hope and connection very much. Okay? So the routines and the strategies. Revisit your intentions and sense of purpose. Watch out for your emotions and always leave every situation on a positive note. Escape negativity bias. Use focused and productive language and choose what to interact with. Let go of what doesn't serve you. Insist on a weekly meeting with a friend, colleague, family for support. Follow your curiosity and learn what gives you light. Never overlook your sense of passion. And keep a list of 10 things you are grateful for at the beginning and end of, the beginning or the end of every day. So these are the 5 practices you should go with, and they would help. So this gives us easier time and lessens the stress. It is not going to make you super happy, but it's going to make you the okay for longer teacher. So you have a pre-teach sense of purpose, a set of positive comments for problems, or end on a positive note, an ability to choose and manage influences, curiosity that allows for growth and freshness, and a list of 10 reasons to be grateful on a daily basis. Patience and practice. You keep doing your homework every day until you start feeling the difference at the end. So thank you so much for coming today. And this is something that I wish to share with you. Okay, do you have any questions?
Thank you very much, Dr. Ghada. We'll open the floor for questions.
Dr. Ghada, how are you?
How are you, dear?
Yes,
So I'm going to stop here.
My name is Radwa. Yes, can you